person! You're signing a goat?! Have you lost your mind?
Okay, excuse me. You're the one who asked for a team who could win the claw, and you didn't care how.
I can't play with a goat! He's an embarrassment to the team, he's an embarrassment to the city,
He's sitting right there.
Hey! Look away, Flo. I'm just gonna eat him. Yeah, I'm gonna...
In the city of Hydropolis, a young boy named Willharris once stood frozen in front of a poster of basketball legend Jet Fillmore. Her mother, Louisa, gently pulled her away with a smile and a surprise, real tickets to see Jet play. That night changed everything. Watching Jet dominate the court with effortless brilliance, Will whispered a dream that would define her life. Someday, she would be just like her. 10 years later, the dream was still alive, but the path toward it had been anything but kind. Will struggled to survive, rented a cramped garage from a rodent family, and constantly fell behind on rent. Her landlord, Paco, finally gave her a deadline, 24 hours to pay or leave. That same day, desperation pushed her toward a reckless decision. At the neighborhood court, Maine, the sport's rising star, was dismantling every challenger, including Fierro, the court's self-proclaimed king. With nothing left to lose, Will stepped forward and challenged Maine. Betting her rent money on the outcome, the crowd fell silent as the game began. For a brief moment, it felt like a miracle. Will scored twice against the best player alive, proving she belonged. But Maine quickly regained control and ended the game decisively. Just like that, Will lost everything, her money, her home, and any sense of stability. She found herself sleeping on a friend's couch, surrounded by cockroaches and doubt. Then everything changed overnight. Ginny had recorded the game and turned it into something powerful. The video went viral, and by morning, opportunity came knocking. Floor, owner of the struggling Thorns team, offered Will a contract. Shocked, Will asked the only question that mattered: did Jet approve? Floor admitted Jet had wanted a strong player, but she hadn't expected Will. By the time Jet realized what had happened, the contract was already signed. The introduction was cold. At the press conference, Jet barely acknowledged Will before turning the spotlight into a spectacle, revealing Will's private nickname for Maine, My Little Pony. Across the city, Maine heard it instantly. Despite the tension, Will met her new teammates: Olivia, lightning fast; Raffi, dominant in the air; Reno, the team's unshakable defender; and Drago, unpredictable in every sense. They treated her professionally, but without trust. Coach Miko handed her the playbook with a simple instruction: learn it. This was still Jet's team. So Will waited. Game after game passed without her stepping onto the court. She studied every play, every movement, every pattern. Her suggestions were ignored, her presence overlooked. One day, she approached Jet during a solo practice and asked to train. Jet, amused, put her through a brutal gauntlet of drills. Will passed every single one. For a split second, something shifted in Jet, but she hid it quickly. The turning point came during a road game. Maine released a flashy music video mocking Will's chances, turning doubt into entertainment. Then, mid-game, Jet was ejected after arguing with a referee, leaving the team with no choice. Will stepped onto the court to the roar of her neighborhood crowd. Calm and prepared, she executed the plays she had memorized for weeks. When the ball came to her, she didn't hesitate, she scored. The arena erupted. She led the team through the rest of the game, securing a long-awaited victory. Respect followed. On the flight home, her teammates welcomed her into their circle. For the first time, she belonged. She suggested including Jet, but the team refused, claiming she drained the energy from every room. None of them noticed Jet sitting nearby, quietly listening, turning up her headphones to block them out. Everything came to a breaking point during a promotional shoot. Jet was supposed to pass leadership to Will on camera, but she couldn't say the words. Take after take failed until she snapped, declaring herself the only true leader. Will pushed back, and the tension exploded. Jet threatened to retire and walked out. Will followed, offering a simple apology. This time, Jet didn't shut him out. She revealed the truth, the pressure, the failures, the years spent chasing the claw trophy and never reaching it. Instead of arguing, Will showed her something different. He took her to his old restaurant, where loyal fans still believed in the Thorns despite years of losing. There, Jet experienced something she hadn't felt in a long time: genuine appreciation. She laughed, shared stories, and connected with people who admired her not as a legend, but as a person. When she noticed a pair of rare sneakers she had long searched for, the owners offered them to her on one condition: win the claw trophy. On the walk back, Will opened up about his mother, her belief in him, and the family he had found in his community. Jet listened, quietly changed. That night, she proved it. She joined Maine's live stream, defended Will publicly, acknowledged her teammates by name for the first time, and declared that everything would be settled in the championship. The next day, she told the team she had finally understood what she had been missing: trust. Then she handed real control back to Coach Miko. Under Miko's leadership, everything clicked. Reno embraced his role as protector, Raffi gained confidence, Olivia sharpened her focus, and even Jet began to let go of control. Will trained relentlessly, overcoming her weaknesses with Fierro's help, while Drago somehow found his rhythm. The Thorns began to win, building momentum at the perfect time. But just before the semifinal, everything threatened to fall apart. Floor revealed to Jet that the team had been sold and would leave after the tournament, without any of the current players. Jet was told to keep it quiet. Will overheard and refused to stay silent. He told the team the truth himself. The locker room fell into heavy silence. Overwhelmed, Jet reverted to her old self, controlling and distant. The team's confidence shattered. They barely survived the game, carried only by Jet's raw determination. In the final seconds, she took the ball from Will and scored the winning shot herself. They advanced, but something broke. Afterward, Will looked at her, not with anger, but disappointment, and told her she was no longer his favorite player. The team drifted apart, and Will returned to the neighborhood court, ready to walk away from everything. But he didn't get the chance. Jet found him there. This time, there was no pride left, only honesty. She apologized, admitting her fear of losing her legacy had consumed her. She confessed her obsession with the Claw Trophy had blinded her to everything else. For the first time, they stood as equals. Together, they decided to bring the team back for one final run. Days later, the Thorns faced the Magmas on their home court in a high-stakes showdown. Midway through the game, Jet threw herself in front of a brutal hit meant for Will, injuring her leg in the process. Still, she refused to sit out. With only 20 seconds left, Coach Miko gathered the team and laid out one final play. Every movement mattered. What followed was a battle of pure will. The Thorns played as one, every pass, every move connected. Even injured, Jet contributed everything she had left. In the final moment, the ball found Will. This time, he didn't hesitate. He took the shot, and won the game at the buzzer. The city of Vineland erupted. The Thorns were champions. In the aftermath, Jet finally gave Will what he had been chasing all along, recognition. She called him the greatest, not as a legend passing a torch, but as someone who had truly earned it. It felt like the end, as if the team's journey together was over. Then came one last surprise. Miko stepped forward and revealed he had secured ownership of the team. The Thorns weren't leaving. They would stay where they belonged. The celebration returned, louder than ever. Surrounded by his team, his community, and the dream he had never let go of, Will finally stood where he had always wanted to be, not just like Jet Fillmore, but as something entirely his own. And that's how the story ends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos.